Hello, poor people. How are you today? Very quickly, I'm going to debunk the myth. Your network is your net worth. You see, the problem with that statement lies in the interpretation, not necessarily the statement. Most people perceive this as using externalities to gain access at the expense of value. So the problem with that kind of mindset is if you prioritize relationship and you try to network your way up, it's only a matter of time before it descends into absurdity. It's like you walk into a friend group, there's always one guy who's discarded, that person who is humiliated, the poorest of the friend group. That's the exact position you would end in. And if you're comfortable being in that spot, well, I'm talking to that top 1%er, that person who wants to be a leader. You see, it's not a bad thing to wake up every single day and decide to be treated as an equal, decide to work as hard as possible, decide to be able to offer value to the other person. It's not wrong. You're not a bad person for wanting the best for yourself. So if you focus solely on relationship, you would be unable to maximize the value. You'll be unable to maximize that value. My thing is, would billionaires want to be friends with me? It's a genuine question I ask myself every single time. In the presence of a billionaire, what can I offer? And the problem with you peasants is a business comes to mind or some underpaid skill you have comes to mind without realizing that every skill, every business, every product is already in use. Oh, I'm a tailor. You think they don't have tailors? You think they don't have construction workers? You think they don't have developers? Exactly. So the diverging factor lies in the degree of proficiency. How good are you at tailoring? What quality do you offer? As a tiler, can you arrange tiles without a single drop of cement? As a painter, have you mastered the art of painting without spilling on the tiles or overspilling on the doors? Have you gotten to the point where you understand how to use tapes to prevent the colors from overlapping? Are you updated as to the latest techniques as well as the various materials used in minimizing spillage and focusing on prioritizing quality? Do you understand the various dynamics? You see, the difference between a master and an amateur is not necessarily in the quality of service, but the attention to detail. You see, I have a construction company, and one of the things we teach in our academy, so I don't hire from anywhere else. If you want to get hired, you have to pass through the academy. So the only difference is if you're more qualified, you'd be able to complete the program faster than someone who's just beginning. But one of the things we prioritize over there is attention to detail. If you go to the Instagram pages, you would see some guys using paint brushes to get access to obscure places on the wall. You see things like the use of toothbrush, a kind of tape, using rulers to avoid the door hinges. Now, are there more proficient ways to do this? Yes. Are there better materials to do this? Yes. But as I said, we are constantly improving and we will focus on the tools available for us. And this is what most people don't do enough. He who is faithful in little is faithful in large. Excuse me. My apologies. I had to check the mic. If you've been following me long enough, you already understand why. So, but he who is faithful in little is faithful in large. How you do the small things leads to how you do the big things. So if you're waiting for that end product, if you're waiting for that millions of dollars before you begin to invest, it's never going to happen. You must maximize your current situation, use it to the best of your ability if you want to be successful. I've shared this story countless times. When I began trading, I sat on the floor. I had to beg to charge devices in order to get access to materials to consume. So this was the beginning process, the infancy of my career. Had I waited till I moved out of the community or go to a better place, it wouldn't have become my reality. So the thing is this, your situation would always improve. It would always improve. But you might not notice if you're not working towards something. The reason you can look in hindsight is you compare it to your current version, is you have something you are working towards. If you live the life where you are chasing the next product, the next new release, the next party, it's going to be very difficult to be able to compare your situations because there's no progress, there's nothing you're working towards. Conversely, if you have a business, you started in a small apartment or you use your room as an office. Now you have an actual office. So it's easy for you to compare and get excited. I used to be in this place and now look where I am. And it's progress. So in times of difficulty, it's something you can draw from to push forward. But the point I'm trying to highlight is for your network to be your net worth, you have to be valuable. And not just valuable, provide that value at an extreme high. Another problem contained with peasants is you have this idea, let me wait for something to happen, or when I have customers I'll be more efficient. When I have 1 million subscribers, I'll increase the quality of my content. When this happens, I'll increase the quality of the products. The problem with that kind of mindset is this: it never comes. It never comes because you do not know who you're serving. And even if you are presented before kings, your best efforts might be average to him because it's used to quality. If you're a tailor, do your best. Do your best. Regardless of who you're serving, do your best. Not only will they improve your skill, but you can get real-time feedback on mistakes to make or changes to make. I'll share a story with you. I've told it countlessly, but a guy, because of the scar on my head, it was very difficult to locate him, and he was in a small kiosk when we met. As time went on and my finances changed, I moved away from the community and I would book his ride across town. From there, he moved to flight. From flight, I got him a permanent place in the upscale part of Lagos. Now, the point I'm trying to highlight is value will do a lot for you. Value solves problems. So if you were to ask that young man, give me an exact detail of how to go from point A to point B. Give me an exact detail on how you would leave this kiosk. He might not know. So the solution is irregardless of who you're serving, always put in your best. Put in your best and you'll be fine. So the key to maximizing your network is to not just be valuable, but be a master at whatever crafts you offer. And as always, my friends, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.